Times were tough, so I sold my soul. And I don't think I'll ever regain control. Devil looked me in the eye, now I look the other way. What else could I do? I just stood at the doorway, knew I'd rather be drunk with you. I'd rather be drunk.
Hey Internet, Dracofunk here, and welcome back to the 100 subscriber special, where I drive a Rover Train from the North Pole to the South Pole. And right now, I'm just trying to figure out where I am and which direction I'm facing, and how I ended up facing basically the wrong direction. I don't know. But hey, I fixed, I'm using the correct video settings on my capture device this time. If you saw the last video, I'm sorry I didn't catch it until it was too late. I did what I could, and you know, it just happened. But hey, we're back, and we're all in frame this time, and we are heading south, as we've been doing most of this time, just heading south. And it's been a very busy week for me since then. I had this whole thought that I would get on to recording some stuff early, and it didn't happen. I ended up way too busy, and also not feeling well. But it was fine, because I'm like, today, you know what? I feel much better today. But oh no, I was reminded just a little bit ago that I don't feel better today, which is unfortunate. And hopefully does not impact my recording of this video, because that would be very bad. So I am heading along the coast right now, and as you saw in the video, I've actually I'm about a quarter, I would say almost a quarter of the way there. I'm not quite, I was hoping to be a little bit closer to the equator by now, but I'm not. But that's okay, because we are still traveling along. And this part of Kerbin, it is not the most hospitable area to be driving on for rovers or rover trains. It is hilly and treacherous, and it makes me very nervous about driving over some of these hills and troughs, peaks and troughs, like right there. But I have to continue. I need to send an aircraft out to explore the river, because I need to figure out how I'm going to get across it, or where I'm going to get across it. And until I get some eyes out there, I'm really not sure. I don't know what the best options are. I mean, one option is to the really long option is to go around a large mountain range and completely avoid the river. Another option is to skirt right the edge of the mountain range where the river ends, but I think there is a possible place where the river, there's like a natural bridge portion. And I have a while before I get there. It is just a little south of the equator, I believe. Now, this isn't the... I don't think that's not the big river, because there's another big river where everybody does the river runs. But this is a... It's not quite as long. It's still very long. But I have to find a place where I can get across it. So in other space news, last Wednesday was the first attempted launch, not the first attempted launch, the first attempted launch of, I believe it was Viasat 1 on the Falcon Heavy, and it was scrubbed, which I logged on about 12 minutes before the launch to watch it, and it had already been scrubbed, which was unfortunate because I couldn't exactly watch it the next day. I tried. I was on stage logging onto my phone to see the launch just in time for it to see it had again been scrubbed and moved to Saturday night, which was awesome because I knew I would be driving in my car during the launch. And I logged on just in time again to see that it had been scrubbed. And then Sunday night was the reschedule and the eventual actual launch. And lo and behold, I was again in my car. I could not really watch it at that time, so I didn't actually get to see the launch live. I had to watch it afterwards. But it was, I believe this is the first time a Falcon Heavy expended all 3 boosters, as in none of it was reusable. They did not spare any fuel to make landings. It was all used to thrust its payload into orbit, which is very interesting. I believe normally the second stage ends up traveling about 4,000 kilometers per hour at stage separation, but with the fully expended boosters, all 3 of them, I believe it was traveling close to 17,000 this time, which gives you an idea of just how much faster the boosters can give, if not trying to make a reusable landing. So, I mean, the unfortunate thing there is the boosters were expended, but again, that was completely expected. And anyway, we are traveling and making our way, and we're just going to keep heading towards the South Pole. So you can see I've kind of picked a heading and I'm trying to stay there. And I'm trying to keep my speed up, but I don't want to go too fast because that's when I can end up with problems like we had the last time, where I actually damaged the locomotive portion of the Rover Train, which I don't want to do again. So hopefully that is not something that happens. So I'm just trying to keep my speed up, make good time, and keep the whole rover safe. Now, I'm coming up to these hills that are very, very... It starts to get a little bit... what's the right word? I don't want to say... I just start to get kind of nervous about where these hills are, or just how steep they are. And I'm just not really certain about the best path, and I'm hoping I didn't make a mistake in choosing which direction to go. And here in just a bit, you're going to see where I have to kind of make a detour because I come over a hill and I look like I'm about to head down into a large, almost what would be a lake bed, but not a lake bed because there's no water. Like a dry lake bed, or maybe an eroded crater, or some sort of valley. Either way, if I were to continue in that direction, I'd be going down a very steep hill and having to come back up. So I have to kind of skirt around the edge. But I'm still traveling on and making my way through the south. So it's really not... they look worse until you get right up on them. But I still have to be careful because I did not... the only time we've had an accident, it did not look bad until something exploded. So I'd rather not have something explode. Things exploding are not ideal. But hey, what else has Highway 47 got going on? So, other than other Let's Plays, we haven't been putting out as much as we have in the... we were a couple months ago, mainly because we've all become... this is a busy time of year for all of us, especially me and Shaggy Bee. Vomit is also very busy right now, and I hope that he can get through all his work stuff, and Skrodrick, as always, is busy, and all three of them are, as well as me, are just super busy, and well, we do what we can. And I think it's around right here where I come up on top of these hills and start looking down. Yeah. And like right there, I kind of want to go around the edge of that little valley because I don't want to go down it and have to come back up. And the other thing is my electricity is kind of getting low, and going up a hill, a very steep hill, might just be enough to drain my batteries, and I'd have to stop there until they recharged. Which I'm coming up towards the end of this section, or this session anyway. So most of this video is sped up about 4 times. So I got about a little less than 10 minutes left on my timer, because I like to I record about an hour's worth of video and then speed it up, and that gives me a little over 15 minutes, because obviously at the beginning I don't have the footage sped up, and there's a little bit of time at the end, so I can kind of wrap everything up. So that ends up being a little more. I did spend a little bit of extra time today looking at the map, because I did not want to get lost. And by lost, I mean driving in the wrong direction. Because I've chosen to do this without waypoints, because my initial plan did not work out, and I still need to send a rescue craft to retrieve the Enlightener. But here we are. As you can see, I would say this is almost a quarter of the way to the South Pole. But we have survived another episode, and we will continue the journey of the Rover Train, and hopefully on the next episode or 2 I will get an aircraft out there to kind of survey the river and see what we're up against. But hey, like and subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you next time.